Hello and welcome back to the channel. I'm Tim, and today I will be concluding my playthrough of Skies Above Britain. Yes, we are up to the final patrol, Chapter 4, Patrol number 8. So let's get started. So I've gone ahead and because our innovator Ace is in the bailout box, Osgood, and won't be able to participate in this patrol, I went ahead and flipped our squadron display back over to the normal side. I still have to go through and figure out. I just put all the pilots back up there since I had to flip it over, and still need to go through and figure out who all's fatigued and all that, but we'll get to that here in a moment. But first, let's roll for our random event. So again, we're down here on the Chapter 4 table. And we got a 12. So transfer. Uh-oh. We have a lot of veterans, so I'm afraid we're going to be losing one of them. Let's take a look. Alright, the effect of this event depends on the number of veteran pilots in your squadron, including those in the hospital. You may discharge pilots before applying this random event. So if we were able to, in our case, that would probably make sense if it's going to make a difference, since it's our final patrol and we're not going to be able to utilize Pertwee and White anymore anyway. But let's see if we can get down to where we need to be. So if we have 7 or more veteran pilots, then we have to transfer one to another squadron, select the pilot, and remove him from play. I did ask the last time I got this event, I did ask, and Jerry White responded that this is your selection. It doesn't have to be random, because you're the squadron leader. You decide who, you get a transfer request from another squadron. You get to decide who you send them. So, transferred pilots may be replaced after the next patrol. Well, they're not going to be a next patrol, so that's irrelevant. If we only have 0 to 6, we get a transfer. Basically, we replace a green pilot with a regular pilot, and then if we don't have a green pilot, which we do have one, what's his name again? Kirkland. You would do the night duty event instead. So let's see if we can get down to 6 veterans. No, there's no way. We've got so many veterans. So of course, Doggett, I think that was our KIA. He doesn't count, but we do have Pertwee and White in the hospital, so that's 2. We have Fitzroy and Osgood, who had to bail out from the last patrol. That's 4. And then we've got Rathbone, Northcott, Irwin, Upchurch, Ellsworth, and Birtwistle. So yeah, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We've got 10 veterans. So we're not getting out of this one. So we have to decide who we want to send them. Well, let's see. We'll send them somebody that's fatigued, right? Since we probably wouldn't want to fly them anyway. So let's sort out who our fatigued pilots are before we make this decision. So we're looking for ones that flew in 6 and 7. I don't think there's very many. Yeah, just Upchurch. Wow, he's one of our aces, though. Do we want to do that? He's on the verge of becoming a double ace. Yeah, I don't think we want to give him Upchurch, even though from a game standpoint, it would probably make the most sense. Well, maybe not, because we're losing his ace skill then. So I think we will send them. Boy, who we got? Rathbone. I mean, Rathbone, Northcott, those guys have been with us from the beginning. Irwin's been with us from the beginning. Upchurch has. Ellsworth. Looks like they're going to get Birtwistle. I guess the other thing we should look at is their performance. So Birtwistle's got 1 bomber kill and 2 escort kills. Ellsworth has done really well, especially on the escort side. Two bombers, 3 escorts. Irwin's one of our aces. They're definitely not getting him. Let's see, who else? Rathbone, or Irwin. Yeah, we said Irwin already. Rathbone and Northcott. I mean, Rathbone's on the verge of becoming an ace. And who's the other one? Northcott. I mean, Northcott's done equal performance to Ellsworth. So yeah, it looks like it's going to be Birtwistle, because he's our newest and hasn't done as well as everyone else. So long, Birtwistle. One of my favorite names, though, of pilots that I found. So yeah, we'll just set him over here. He's not really KIA, but he's unavailable and would be replaceable if we were continuing on. So we'll go ahead and scratch him from the roster. Let's see, I said Upchurch was our only fatigued pilot, right? So we'll put him over there. Scratch his kills. And then, again, next time I play this, I'm just going to erase these as well, but the convention I started with, and we'll continue, is Xing these out. I think if and when I play this again, I think I want to come up with a way to have like a historical record of all the pilots and how many patrols they flew and what kills, and so I'll probably do like I'm sure someone's made a spreadsheet or something for that on BGG, so I'll probably do that next time. It's nice to look back over that when you're done to see who all flew for you and how they did and what their fate was if they had to leave you. Okay, so that's the event. We do get to get a replacement. Now, so I'm thinking, because it said that Birtwistle, our transfer, can't be replaced in the next patrol, which would be this current patrol. I'm thinking we don't consider him a deficit at this point. So yeah, we're just going to be, I mean, in our case, it's not going to make a difference because 1 to 2 is the same. Okay, let's get the correct chart here without a mistake in it. Yeah, let's say, for example, we had 2 KIAs and then we just lost Birtwistle because of that random event. I don't think we would roll on this table, or this row of the table. We'd still only be rolling down here. All right, so we need a 9 or higher to get a replacement for our final patrol. And we do not. And let's see, would that have made much of a difference? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I mean, the only difference it would have made is we wouldn't have to fly Upchurch fatigued. But I'm thinking I probably would have anyway, just because he's an ace and a veteran. And I think those benefits outweigh the penalty for being fatigued. All right, so that is all for that. We shouldn't need the optionals book anymore. And let's get our roster assignment here then. So I think we'll give Irwin the lead of red section, and we'll give a fatigued Upchurch the lead of, let's split our aces up, I guess, into different flights, in case that matters. He'll be blue section leader. Still hasn't had an opportunity to utilize that bloodhound skill. That seems, it's very situational, so it's probably not the best choice of skills, but I wanted to try different things out, so I wasn't necessarily, I mean, if you just always choose Lucky Charm for your ace skill, to me that seems kind of boring, even though it's probably the best one. In fact, and I think in Skies Above the Reich and Storm Above the Reich, it's this way. I think you randomly get your ace skills in that one, or at least maybe the starting ones. I mean, that might be something to incorporate just to force some variety, is randomizing your ace skill when you earn one. Okay, let's see. We'll give Kirkland to Irwin. Let's have, so who were our two best performers again? I think it was, what was it, Northcott? Or no, Rathbone's on the verge of becoming ace. So let's make him a section leader. And then I think Northcott and Ellsworth were equal, so we'll give it to Northcott. We'll give the section that has a green pilot a second veteran. Oh, wait a minute. We're not even going to be able to field 4 sections. What am I talking about? So yeah, let's give our fatigued section leader another veteran to help him out. And then we'll just give Merrington and Tremble here and Grant over here. That'll work. So we'll get these recorded. Kirkland, Irwin, Ellsworth, Merrington, Rathbone, Tremble, Grant, that's Upchurch, and Northcott. Alrighty. Next, let's set up the board here for our raid track. We need our inbound vector markers. Give them a mix. And let's see if I still remember it without looking. 4, 4, 2, 1, 1. All right. There's our scenario card. Yep, 4, 4, 2, 1, 1. Going from the left. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2. 1 and 1. And let's hope we can get in the middle. We need a 9 through 12 for that. No. Very deep. Okay. Oh, don't put this away yet. Need to roll for our starting visibility. Oh, 10's no good. That's clouds, no sun. Don't like that. Keep that handy, we'll need it later. And I believe we're ready to roll. So we'll start, as always, with the reveal step of the RAID vector sequence. Oh, look at that. Come on. It's cloudy, so we don't get to see the escorts yet. And that's it. Nope, we need our fuel markers. We don't need yellow. So we're going to spend the fuel. And, before we get too much farther, I know it doesn't matter from a gameplay perspective, but for a narrative perspective, of course, Osgood and Fitzroy are now out of the bailout box, so they would be available if there were another patrol. And let's see what happens to our boys in the hospital. Let's start with Ald. See if Stu can get released. Need a 9 or higher. Yes, all right. Recovered quickly from his injuries. Mr. Pertwee. 5. Nope, he's staying in the hospital. 4 to 8. And then Mr. White. He is also staying in the hospital. All right. Okay, now we can continue here. So we did our fuel step. Contact, we are not eligible to make contact because we are not in the same or an adjacent excuse me, zone. So we go to the vector step. Now, had we been able to place the escorts, we would now roll for escort recovery. But since we didn't, no, not that. We have the option to move to an adjacent zone and or change altitude. We're going to do both, which will cost a fuel. So we want to be high altitude in case we get a tally-ho opportunity. Plus, it's better for rolling on the contact table. So we spend the fuel for that. Now we loop back to the reveal step. This moves over. And we got a straggler. We're going to ignore him. And we will now make contact. Well, after we spend the fuel. So fuel step and contact, yes. Contact table is on here. We are in the same zone. We're high, so we get a +1, but it's clouds, so we get a -1. So just a straight roll and hoping for 10 or more, because I think that gives us our best options. 5. So flank low, flank high, or nose low. Definitely not nose low because we want to be able to disrupt. And I think in all respects, flank high is superior to flank low. I mean, maybe with one possible exception. If there's a low station, yeah. Well, no, even if there is, yeah, high is definitely better than that. What? I guess there's 7 versus 5, 4 versus 5, 6 versus 8, 10-4 versus 10-5. Again, we're assuming all 109s, which we don't know at this point, but in either case, they're all trailing is the only one that doesn't make a difference. So, yeah. And we'd have to be spending a fuel anyway if we were like, well, let's save the fuel and not make the adjustment. Well, you're going to have to spend it anyway when you try to intercept. So, and again, not knowing where the escorts are, we can't really make an informed decision on whether it makes sense to split somebody off at this point to approach from a different position. So I think, and plus we're only 3 sections, so we probably wouldn't do that anyway. So yeah, we're just going to go flank high and hope for the best. So we do need to spend a fuel for that adjustment. And we will come in, and again, lack of information means it doesn't matter which side we choose, we'll go ports. I don't think one versus the other has a higher chance of being present. Let's take a look at that though. So this is port and starboard. This is just starboard, just port, just port. Or no, this is both. This is just port. This is both. This is just port. So there are, what are we looking at here? That's both, that's neither. So there's one die roll where it could be only starboard and not port. Sorry, 2 die rolls where it could be only starboard and not port. There is one R. There are 2 die rolls where it could be only port. So yeah, equal probabilities there. So no reason to choose one over the other than a gut feeling. So we'll just go with port. All right, so that is contact, and since it's cloudy, we don't even get to see, oh wait, we do get to see where the escorts are now after making contact. We don't get to see the bombers yet though. So let's roll for escort locations. And we're hoping for something that doesn't include port. Darn it, we should have went starboard. So 109's in the lead, 110's in the low, and 109 heavy at port. So we need 2 109 markers, 1 110 marker. And it was 109 light in the lead. Uh, 110 light in the low. And 109 heavy at port. Yeah, starboard would have been perfect here, I think. Take a look. So there's one in lead, there's one in low, so that's 4 and 5. So if we had been starboard, then they would have been on the other side, which would have been a 4. So we'd be looking at 4, 4, and 5. So we'd only need a 5. Because they're on the same side, though, we need an 8 instead. So disappointing. I'm not sure it's worth trying to suppress that starboard station, though. Especially since they're heavy. We'd need to roll an 8 or higher to suppress it, which we need to roll an 8 or higher to intercept without suppressing it. So that's not really gaining us anything. And we'd be down a section then. So yeah, we're just going to go for it and hope we can roll an 8 or higher. You do get a re-roll. All right, so that's going to jump us down to the interception sequence, starting with the orders phase. And we will be giving our entire squadron a bomber's order. So we now go to the intercept phase and resolve that bomber's order, which means an interception check. So as we just saw, we're flank high. We don't need to spend a fuel for this. We have, oh, I need to check two, that 110. One of those was 110, so low. So yeah, actually that was only a 4. So we're looking at 4, 8, and 4 as our numbers. So yeah, if we'd have come in on the other side, it would have just been a 4. All right, but we're on the same side, so we need an 8 or higher. We can spend a fuel to re-roll. There's no sun, so we don't have that option. So 8 or higher. We do have 3 veteran section leaders, so we can potentially add 3 to this roll. So we really just need a 5 or higher. Six. Is it worth spending a fuel to re-roll to possibly have to spend fewer plucks? I don't think so, because we could end up rolling a 1, and then we're just out of luck. So we'll go with the 6. We'll spend 2 of our veteran privileges. We want to keep Irwin's, I think, since he's got a green pilot in his section. So we'll spend Rathbone's privilege, and we'll spend Upchurch's privilege. And it looks like once again, he will not have an opportunity to utilize his ace skill. I mean, there could be if he ends up going lost contact, and then we decide to stay for a 3rd bomber round. He could use it to automatically come back, but I doubt we're going to do that, but you never know. All right, so now that we've successfully intercepted, this can come off. And because the clouds caused us to delay putting out the bomber tiles, this is when we do that. All right, so red die for bomber type, blue die for formation. And we got an 8, which is, let me make sure I do this right. I forget if it was the last patrol or the one before that. One of my viewers pointed out, hey, you rolled a 10, not an 11. It should have been this instead of this. Or I think it was between these two. I thought it was this one, and it should have actually been that one. But I replied back and said, we'll just pretend I actually rolled an 11. Because I didn't want to redo all that. Okay, what are we doing here? 8 is Heinkel's, 7 through 12. And 10, this is like the exact same situation. This one, not this one. 6 through 10. So we got the 8 tile, sort of, I don't know, what does that look like? Almost like a TIE fighter, but not quite. Anyway, 8 tiles of Heinkel's. So let's get that set up. All right, we got everybody brought down here too, so we're all ready to go. I put the green marker here on Kirkland to remind myself that he's a green pilot, and I've got my fatigue marker on Upchurch over here to remember that he's fatigued. He'll have a -1 die roll modifier to collision checks, hit checks, and fate checks. Hopefully he won't have to make any of those. All right, so this is the excuse me. This is the same formation that Grant had a while back, and I made some suggestions to him on how to better approach it to try to disrupt everything in the first round. Of course, then I turned around. It wasn't the same formation, but I had a similar situation and didn't take my own advice and ended up leaving a bunch of stuff still together. But basically, I think he had chosen to focus on just these 2 in the first round to get these 4 isolated. So we had like 6 on this one and 6 on that one, I think. He had the advantage of having his entire squadron too. I've only got 9, so it's going to be a little trickier. But I had suggested, and plus he had a couple of flak markers on there too, I think. So he had a total of like 14 to start with. And I had suggested, rather than just focusing on these 2, put like 1 or 2 fighters here, 1 or 2 here, 1 or 2 here, and the remainder here. That way you start up here, you're guaranteed isolating this one, because every tile coming in from the flank has an isolation result, and the highest number is 14. So that's a guarantee. 1 fighter there, boom, that's isolated. Then he's still got 13 left on everything else. So very good odds that this one would get isolated on the first try, which knocks those 2 out. And then you've got 12 left. Very good odds of isolating this on the first try. And I think the flak was even here and here, which made it even better. And so then he had like 11 left, you know, and whatever, nine chances to isolate on an 11. So I'm going to see if I can put that same thing into practice. Now my odds aren't as good because I've only got 9 fighters and no flak to help me out. But let's see if we can get lucky here. And even if we only get some of them, we've got our second round to hopefully isolate the rest. Yeah, let's get the bomber deck shuffled up here, and then we'll assign our fighters. We want to keep... probably want to keep all 3 of these guys together, because that way these 2 guys can potentially help him. Either one of them could potentially help him if needed. So yeah, let's see who we want. I mean, it doesn't really matter for the rest, I don't think. So we'll send green leader there. We'll send green 2 here. We'll send green 3 here. And then we'll kind of divide up on this tile so we don't have that situation where we pile a bunch of damage markers on a bomber and then they all go away because he falls out or something, or gets destroyed. Guess it's going to be 2 on each, right? That looks good. So those 2 are going after that one. These 2 after that one. These 2 after the lead. And then 1, 1, 1. All right. Let's see if we can make it work. We'll start up here with green leader. So we need a 9 or less for the disruption number. Ooh, look at that. Well, 10 would have worked even, because we're adding a damage. So dorsal gunner hit. He takes return fire and then isolate on a 9. This will come out. And that is 1 Ketan isolated. Keta. Let's see, we're on chapter 4. Control 8. So 1 out of the way already. For return fire, these cups over here within reach. Oh, green pilot hit. Nice. And he's not green. So nothing. All right, we'll go next over here to green 3. So now we need a disruption number of 8 or less. Ooh, 12. And he's jammed. So that one didn't work. Let's move him over here. Okay, so now we still got 8. Now we're on green 2. Look at that. Got it. Collision check though. Let's see if they collide. Nope. All right, so that's going to isolate this tile, which means these two are isolated. So that's 2 more. Okay, and then we'll start here with red 3. So now we're down to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 5, yes. So a damage, a return fire, and then isolate. So that isolates these 2 tiles. So it just leaves us with this one to focus on in round 2 to get those last 3 tiles isolated. So that's 2 more for a total of 5. And you get the damage result. We get lucky here and hit the cockpit. Nope, fuselage. And he does take return fire. So now we don't want to see that green hit. Well, actually it'd be okay because red leader could cancel it. So yeah, we do want to see that. That's what I meant. Oh, look at that. Called it. All right, so red leader, Irwin, is going to use his privilege and say, stay trim, Kirkland. So he gets to ignore that green hit result. All right. So now we're on an isolated tile. So let's see what red leader does. Isolated tile, starboard report. So another damage and distress on a 7. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep, so we have that. So we'll go ahead and distress him. So fallen marker. We need a Heinkel. I think are these. Yeah. And low ammo and a damage. He cannot cancel that low ammo. He's used his privilege, but he wouldn't have anyway. And for the damage, we got a wing. All right, let's go with blue 3 next. So isolated tile from port. He's going to fall out as well. Dorsal gunner hit, low ammo, and distress. So low ammo, dorsal gunner hit. And he falls out, which makes the other one a lone bomber as well. We can just get rid of this tile. move this back over here just so it's out of the way. All right. Next, we'll go with Upchurch and Blue Leader. Lone Bomber now. Another dorsal gunner hit, and he goes low ammo. And he has used his privilege, so he cannot cancel that low ammo either. Not that he would have. Make sure I keep that on top so I remember. Dorsal gunner hit. And that's it. All right. Red 2. Lone Bomber. Dorsal gunner hit. Low ammo and return fire. Red 2 is a veteran, Ellsworth, but I'm not going to use his privilege for that. Return fire then. And this one is a hit, fuselage 7. All right, and finish it up with Blue 2. Damage and low ammo. Like to see that. No return fire. So fuselage damage and low ammo. Alrighty. We now disengage. No one's on the tail, so they can't stay on the tail. Got a lot of dorsal gunners that have been taken out, though. It's tempting to try to approach from the tail now, but then you got that 1 round penalty. We've got 3, well, we've only got 2 escort stations that will actually respond. Lead station never sends help. But still, they would go right after those guys on the tail and knock them off. So, don't think it's worth doing. All right, we got to resolve this hit check here. So we need a 7 or higher. No. So red 2 being flown by Ellsworth goes to the fuselage fate box. All right. Oh, I forgot to bring these guys down. So now we finished resolving our bombers order. So we go, no one else has orders. So we go to the entropy phase, back to the bomber formation area. All right, we're not going to do anything with these 4 tiles. So I'm just going to put them out of the way. So we've got these 3 tiles we still want to try to isolate. And then we could potentially try to go after some of these bombers. However, excuse me. Let's see, we've seen the 10, we've seen a 9, we've seen a 12. There's still a 13 and a 14 in there, I think. So we want to take, and we want to bring enough here that we're going to be able to isolate. We only have 8 left. I think we don't Unfortunately, because our gamble didn't pay off there in the first round, I think we just got to commit everyone to isolating these tiles because we don't want to leave 3 points on the board here. We want to make sure, so we don't have red 2 with us anymore. Red leader's already used his privilege, so this guy's, Kirkland's on his own this time. I'm not going to get any help with any green hit or green loose results. I still want to kind of divide these up just so we, or do we just want to, we could just go 4 on each of 2. I think that'd be safe in this case, because even if we get unlucky and something has like, gets 2 or 3 damage markers on it and we still haven't disrupted, but then they end up falling out or getting destroyed, I think we'll still have hopefully enough to do the job with the rest of them. This way at least we also have a decent chance of destroying one or both of these in the process. So we'll do it that way. We'll start here with green 2. 10, no. And he's not green, he doesn't take a hit, so nothing happens. We've got blue 2 next. Looking for an 8 or lower. Ooh, 13. Collision check and jammed. We'll do the collision check first. If he collides, the jammed won't matter. Nope. And jammed. Certainly not looking good for destroying this bomber, that's for sure. 2 guys have made a run at it and haven't got a single damage on it yet. All right, let's see if blue 3 fares any better. Again, looking for an 8 or less. 6, there it is, and he throws a damage on for good measure. Low ammo. Oh, he's out of ammo. Damage. Cockpit would be great here. We'll do the isolation first, I guess. So isolate that tile, which isolates the remaining, the other 2 as well. So that's 3 more isolated Ketan. Got our max points for isolation. And now we need a cockpit hit. Or an engine hit so that red leader can follow up with another engine hit or a cockpit hit. It is a wing. All right, red leader, it's up to you. We're now on an isolated tile. Well, you did get a damage and we get to draw it. It's not a dorsal gunner hit. 5 will definitely distress that one. And he runs out of ammo. And again, he's used his privilege already, so nothing he can do about it. Fallen marker. Isolated bomber, or lone bomber. Pulls all those off that tile, unfortunately. And here's where we need a cockpit. Nope. Fuselage. All right. One more chance at taking a bomber down. Upchurch and Blue Leader. Isolated tile now. Didn't even get a damage. Return fire, but he does knock him out of formation. So we got 2 more lone bombers. And return fire. Hit wing 5, not too bad. Throw that over there. Okay. Green 3 with his jammed guns. Again, we missed out getting a hit there, so we're going to need either 2 damage or a cockpit here. 2 engine damage or cockpit. Alright, so we're lone bomber coming in from starboard report. So there's a damage and a low ammo. But we got to roll to see if the damage actually goes through. Let's go ahead and give him his low ammo. And we need an even for that to count. Yes, all right, good. All right, come on, engine or cockpit? Wing. All right, red 3. Kirkland. Lone bomber, starboard report. Damage, low ammo. That's the result I want to see. That's his first low ammo result. And again, we need engine or cockpit. No, fuselage. They're eluding us. All right, it all comes down to green leader. Oh, and you get the dorsal gunner hit. I mean, I shouldn't complain. He didn't take any return fire at least, but I was hoping to have at least one more shot at pulling the cockpit. All right, that concludes the burst step. So we will disengage. We have 1 hit check to resolve. And then we're going to face the wrath of the Luftwaffe. All right, we need a 5 or higher here. No. So to the wing fate. Oh, actually, we needed a 6 or higher because he's fatigued. So Upchurch is going to the wing fate box. He's already used his privilege. Make sure he stays turned sideways to indicate that. And he is fatigued, so he gets a -1 on these rolls as well. All right. Well, no decision to make here yet, but just looking ahead, we've got only 2 that are out of ammo. So we would obviously send them back at the next opportunity. That would leave 5 for a potential 3rd round, depending on who survives this escort reaction. We do have 1 bomber with 3 damage on it, and we'll just slide all these up here. We're not going to go, I'm not doing anything with those tiles anymore. So we've got 1 bomber with 3 damage on it and 4 bombers with 2 damage on it, and none of them we didn't pull a single engine damage. So we'd probably, if we wanted to continue, we'd probably just go after these 2. Try to finish them off. But let's see what happens before we get to that point. So escort reaction. Oh no, we have an ambush as well. All right, so we have oh, there is clouds. Almost went right by this because it so rarely happens. We're clouds, no sun, so we do have to roll for cloud escape. At this point, though, since everyone's in the bomber formation, the only effect this is going to have is if someone goes lost contact, we won't be able to chase anymore. So if we roll a 9 or higher, they escape in the clouds. We did not. Now we look at help arrives. So we have 2 coming from port, none from the lead, of course, and then we do have 1 coming from the low, which is a 110, and then we're going to get ambushed by 110s. This one's getting reduced at least, but all right, and no one's going to be moving. All right, so let's do the help arrive. So we're going to have 2 109s from a, and this will be from heavy. So we got 2 that are coming from a heavy 109 station. We do those first, and then 1 from a low or a light 110 escort. So let's get those 3 cards. And these first 2 will be 109s heavy, which could matter in case we get it bounced or something like that. We don't have to worry about out of the sun. There's no sun. All right, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we'll just have to do a straight roll. Throw out anything higher than 7. 4. Ooh, it's Kirkland. I'll put him to the test here. All right, it is heavy. So we're getting head on with a rota and tailed by a rota because it says add, not replace. These are 109s. He does still have ammo. All right, so head on first. 109s head on against a lone fighter. Ooh, look at that. They vanish. He runs out of ammo, but he gets a kill. Nice job, Kirkland. Let's mark that up. 1 escort kill for the patrol. We would need 2 more to get a victory point. And Kirkland gets his first kill, which is an escort kill. All right. Now to deal with these guys on his tail. He's going to evade since he's out of ammo now. I think that makes the most sense. And ooh. Well, either way, because he is green. Either way, it's going to be a hit and they go away. Because if we choose this one, they reduce and then we get the automatic reduction, or we just choose this and they vanish, but then he gets a hit because he's green. So, whoops. Let's get rid of those and see what kind of hit he gets. Hopefully it's trivial. Ooh, it's a rudder 10. Yikes. Ooh, he did it. Nice job, Kirkland. All right, well, he goes back into the mix. And that was only one round, so he doesn't go lost contact. Next, help from the heavy 109 station. See who it's going to be against. Our first one, Blue 2. That's Northcott, and his guns are jammed. All right, no hunt in the sun because it's cloudy. He's being tailed by a swarm of 109s. We get a point for 2 more escort kills, so I'm thinking maybe we try to turn into this. See if we can make something happen. Tailed card. No, if we were a section, yes, but we're not. So he's not a green pilot, so he doesn't take a hit. They reduce. Okay, that takes us into round 2, so now he is lost contact. And I think we try to turn again. Oh, why am I drawing 2 cards? What am I doing? 1 card, dummy. There it is. Of course, they would have vanished if we didn't turn, but they're reduced again. Down to a rota. And the turn was successful. Oh. So they are now head on with us for round 3 of the dogfight. Okay, so no maneuver to choose this time. Head on. Oh no. They vanish, but we take a hit and some reinforcements come in. So these guys go away, but then 2 more show up. And we take a hit. Oh, lost contact. Perfect. He already is. I don't think there's any further effects if you're already lost contact. Let's see. Yep. Just says the RAF fighter is now lost contact. Make sure there's no further clarification in the rule book. I mean, the only thing I could think would be like he'd be forced to return to base or something like that. No, it's the same thing. RAF fighter has spun out of the bomber formation area, losing contact with it. It is now in a state of lost contact. already were, so no effect. So that was our head on. So now we're resolving the tailing, or the tailed. And let's try to, we still got our ammo, right? Let's try to do a turn again. So one tailed card, not two. Here. Green pilot takes a hit. So no effect. So round 4 now. Still tailed. We'll try to turn again. There we go. So they vanish and we go low ammo, which means we're out of ammo. But at least we didn't get knocked out. All right, so I'll just go ahead and put him in the lost contact area on the interception map. Okay, that just leaves one more, which is from the light 110 station. And now we're down to 6 fighters to choose from, so we'll divide this by 2. 7 is going to be this one, Green Leader. And this is going to be 110s now, and not heavy. And of course, not out of the sun. So it's not heavy, so we don't get bounced. We're just head on with some 110s. And I need to remember to use the right part of the card for 110s. Because we don't get those very often. It's easy to forget and just automatically look where you usually look. So head on with 110s. So 110s is over here. We're alone, or independent fighter, so they vanish, but some more show up behind. Still round 1 though. So we're gonna have them try to turn into him as well. Might be foolhardy, but let's see what we can do here. So we're tailed, we're a lone independent fighter, they're 110s. So the turn succeeded. They're reduced, so it's just a lone fighter now, so we won't be able to get our, well, we still got the ambush, so I was gonna say we won't be able to get our victory point for escort kills, but we still got an ambush coming. So they're reduced, the turn succeeds, so they're now head on. And this does start round 2. So Green Leader is lost contact. All right, no opportunity for a maneuver with a head-on. So again, we're 110s against a lone fighter. Hey, we did get a kill. So they vanish, so they're gonna vanish because we shot them down. There's only one of them. So they go low ammo and we get another escort kill. That's our 2nd of the patrol, 3rd since we last scored escort kills. And who is Green Leader? That is Rathbone. That's his 3rd escort kill. He's got 4 bomber kills and 3 escort kills now. One more of either and he's an ace. Okay, so this goes away. We go low ammo. That's everything on the card. So he will also go lost contact. I'll just put him over there as well. All right, that does it for the help arrives. We did 2 from port and 1 from low. So for reduction, the heavy station at port will now be a light station. Our movement or whatever it's called, no one's in the ahead station, so that's not going to happen. And then we do have our ambush. Now, ambush, remember, prioritizes lost contact fighters. So it's going to be one of those 2 guys that are subject to the ambush. And it's 110s. So let's do even, it's blue 2, and odd, it's green leader. So it is green leader. Good. His guns aren't jammed. Let's see if we can get this 4th escort kill here. So we need another Luftwaffe advantage card. And these will be 110s. And since our only 110 station is light, I'm pretty sure we don't. It's considered to be light for this. Let me just confirm how this works. Because it's possible that you get a 110 and you don't even have any 110 stations out there. But I think if there are, you go by the heaviest station that exists. Otherwise, you assume it's not heavy. Let's see, because that could potentially affect Hunt in the Sun event as well. So it could make a difference. Here it is, ambush. If an ambush note appears, draw a Luftwaffe advantage card, apply it to a section that has lost contact. If there isn't a section that has lost contact, apply it to an independent RAF fighter that has lost contact. If none, apply it to should be AN, RAF fighter in the bomber formation area. If none, ignore this result. It's either 109, 110. Triggers an immediate dogfight. Let's see if it says anything on the next page. It does not. So I guess I don't know. It's probably in the events. It probably says that they don't apply to ambush. Let's just confirm that. I mean, we may not even get one, but it's still good information to know. So, behind you, there's no such thing as blast them. Behind you and bounced. Ambush and chase. Apply if there is an unsuppressed heavy escort marker on the interception map. Note that for chase, and this should say suppressed, it says unsuppressed markers are considered. Well, unsuppressed markers are always considered. And this is just pointing out that for chase, suppressed escort station markers are considered. Yeah, so none of that matters. So yeah, basically, if there's an unsuppressed heavy escort marker, and I assume it would have to be a heavy escort marker matching the type of the ambush. In this case, it doesn't say that, but that would make sense. And then for Hunt in the Sun, ambush applies, as long as it's like Messerschmitt's. If the sun was out anywhere, then Hunt in the Sun would apply. So, all right. So if we do get a behind you or bounced, then it won't apply because our 110 station is not heavy. All right, all of that to just see it's Hunt in the Sun, so it doesn't matter anyway. So we're tailed by a rota of 110s. So again, we need to make sure we use the right column. Yeah, let's try to turn into them. See if we can shoot one down. Okay. Okay, so we're 110, so we're over here. Oh, look at that. Perfect. The turn succeeds. We get a kill. So turn succeeds. Whoop, this comes around to here. We get a kill, so that's going to knock him down one. We're not even low ammo either. So we could potentially shoot that other one down as well. So, and who was that again? That was Rathbone. That's going to make him an ace. Because that gives him his 4th escort kill. Which is a confirmed kill. Now, this is the case where when you're using the confirmed kill optional rule, this kill hasn't been confirmed yet. So he won't be able to get his ace skill right now. I think even if you're using my take on it anyway, from the way Jerry answered this online, is that even if you're using the confirmed kills option, if he had gotten a 5th bomber kill, he could still get his ace skill immediately because bomber kills don't need to be confirmed. But yeah, so he's gonna get an ace skill here at the end of this patrol. Unfortunately, he won't be able to take advantage of it, but we will award it to him nonetheless. I need to mark that on the back as well because that becomes our 3rd escort kill of the patrol. And that's our 4th since the last time we scored them, so that will be worth a victory point. And I just denote that like this. This is just the convention I use. So the last time we scored it was back here in Chapter 4, Patrol 5. So this is our 4th one since then, so I circle every 4th one to show that those awarded victory points. All right, and that was it. Successful turn, and... yeah, he didn't. I was just thinking he could have. I was thinking, well, I wonder if he could have used his veteran privilege, even if it wasn't successful. But he used that quite a while ago for his pluck to make our bomber interception succeed. All right. He's already lost contact, so it doesn't matter that this is now round 2 that we're starting. So we're now head on the lone fighter. And it's a 110. So 110s head on. If he were a green pilot, he would take a hit. He's not, and they vanish. Again, all head on results include a vanish because they're flying by us so fast. So basically nothing happens there. And we remain lost contact. All right. That will conclude the escort reaction. So ambush is the last step of that. Let's put this back. Let's get all these cards back over here in their appropriate discard piles. And we move on to chase. So, decision point here. Well, blue 2 is out of ammo and his guns are jammed. I guess it doesn't matter that they're jammed anymore because he doesn't have any ammo. So he's definitely going to RTB. So the question is, do we want to try to get green leader back into the bomber formation area? So we've got 3 guys left over here that still have ammo. 1 has jammed guns, though. I mean, part of me says it's the last patrol. It doesn't really matter what happens to the pilots because we're not flying anymore. Why not try to maximize our points? I guess let's see if we're anywhere close to getting to excellent. Where's our scenario or situation manual? Here it is. So we need 65 points to get to excellent. We're already in the success category. We reached that, I think, on patrol 6, if I remember right. So let's look at our current point situation. So 16, 20, 31, this is another 10, that's 41. So yeah, that was when we hit success. We're at 48. So 65 minus 48 is going to be 13, right? Yeah. So we need 13 points to get to excellent. Well, so far we have 8, 9. So we would need to shoot down 4 bombers. So basically, we have to shoot all these down. That's going to require one, without some lucky hits with cockpit or whatever. That would require 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hits or damage results. We've got, so potentially he could do 2 more damage if we left him in for 2 more rounds, but we're going to get escort reaction all that after that. So realistically, we're looking at 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 more damage that we could put on. So I think the best we could hope for is to take out 2 of these guys realistically, because then we'd have escort reaction again. It's probably going to whittle these, assuming he even makes it in, whittle the 4 that are there down even more. I don't really see any viable way of us getting to 4 more victory points. So I don't think it's worth going after anything else. We will just settle for our 9 points. I mean, I guess, yeah, it wouldn't have to be bombers. We could get 4 more escort kills, I guess, but that's highly unlikely. 3 bombers and 4 more escorts, that's not happening. So yeah, we're just gonna send. So long story short, Green Leader is also going to RTB. We can get rid of that. So then we go to patrol complete. No, we still have fighters in the bomber formation area. So fuel. So we have to spend the fuel. We do still have people from all 3 sections out. Escort recovery. No one was suppressed, so nothing to do there. Escort exit. So we've got 109s will exit on a 10 or higher. The 110s will exit on a 12 or higher. So we've got 2 109 stations and 1 110 station that we need to roll for. So let's roll for the 110 station first. It needs a 12. Oh, so close. Okay, no, that was for one of the 109s, really. All right, so let's do for the lead station next. This needs to be a 10 or higher, no. And the port station, no. All right, so no escort exit. Channel patrol, there's no channel patrol number in this box. Reform. We don't have anyone that's still lost contact. That's where you could have them form an ad hoc section. I guess if we'd have left both of them in there, we could have done that because they were, I think, both veterans actually. We never got to do that. That's a little disappointing. I wanted to try to do every possible thing you can do in the game throughout this campaign, and that's one thing we never had the opportunity to do was form an ad hoc section. We did get to do the circle formation, which I'm glad we at least got to try. We definitely got to do big wing 4 times, I think. But anyway, I'm rambling. So no reform, raid vector. Oops. So this is going to go to here. We have 2 to reveal. The other thing too, we could get, hit by Messerschmitts or flak or who knows what. So all right, so Messerschmitts, It just targets a random. I think they go after a section if possible, but then if not, just a random fighter. And it doesn't matter whether they're lost contact or not, so they would have equal weighting. WEIGHTING for this. So we've got 5, so we'll just do divide by 2. Reroll 11 or 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's going to be Kirkland again. A chance to prove his mettle. Or show his quality. That was the quote I was trying to think of from Lord of the Rings. A chance for Faramir to show his quality. This is a chance for Kirkland to show his quality. Let's see. We need a Luftwaffe advantage card. Hun in the Sun will not apply because there's no sun, so he is head on with a Rota. Messerschmitts are always 109s. So yeah, nothing to decide on here, so let's see what happens. 109s, lone fighter, or independent fighter, they just disappear. Very good. You have shown your quality. All right, next we have Turn Point and Messerschmitt. So now the sun's going to come out. So we could have a Hun in the Sun situation here. The sun location will be, it's not on the board here, unfortunately. Right here. 1 to 3 nose, 4 to 6 tail, etc. One, so that's nose. So the sun came out and it's at the nose. And another Messerschmitt. So let's see who next gets to show their quality. 10, that's going to be Red Leader, and he doesn't have any ammo, so he will probably just be trying to avoid. Let's get a Luftwaffe advantage card for him. They're not 110s, unfortunately. He is a veteran. So he's tailed by a swarm. And no, he is a veteran, but he has used his privilege, sadly. If it had been Northcott, on the other hand. No, where is Northcott? Oh, he already went back, didn't he? Never mind. All right, so we will evade. Well, vanish and hit is better than reduce and hit, because even with the automatic reduction, that would still leave a Rota behind us. So they will vanish, and we take a hit. Elevator 8. Ooh, trivial. Nice job there. Who was that again? Irwin. One of our aces. Oh, which Speaking of which, yeah, he could have. I forgot he's an ace. He had his lucky charm still. He could have just ignored that hit, but probably should have done that, to be honest. Since that was the last threat he would have to face. It was kind of dumb. I would have definitely rolled that back, I think. Okay. Let's see. So that's the raid vector. We go to swirl again. No one to give orders to. No orders to resolve. So we go to the bomber formation area. Everyone is going to RTB. Leave that with him. Actually, we'll just put it back on under his pilot marker. And everyone goes back home. So then, reaction, chase, nothing, patrol complete, yes. All right, so let me get things rearranged here a little bit so that I can pull this board down closer and see what the fate of Ellsworth and Upchurch was. Those are two of our charter members of the squadron, so we hope that nothing bad happens to them. I mean, we always hope that nothing bad happens to them, but I would especially like to see them in good health at the end of the campaign. All right, so Ellsworth needs to roll an 8 or higher to successfully land his Spitfire. Red die again for the initial result. Ooh, no. 3. Uh-oh. He crashes and... Oh, good. I saw this 1 to 3 down here. I was like, no. He rolled a 3, so he goes to the hospital. Yeah, if he had caught on fire and rolled a 3, he'd be dead. So Ellsworth will end his career in the hospital. Well, maybe not his career, but at least his actions in World War II. All right, and then Upchurch is fatigued, so he gets a -1 to both of these rolls. And he has already used his privilege. His ace skill does no good here. So again, red die for first result. A 6. He crashes as well. Oh, and he got a 1. He's dead. No. Not Upchurch. Actually, that's a 5 and a 0. Yeah, it's still a crash, but yeah. Oh, man. Poor Upchurch. KIA. Another ace lost. That's two aces that we lost. I think one was to hospital, got discharged, sent back to civilian life. And then Upchurch killed in action on the final patrol. All right. That will do it for that. Let's look at our summary. Get all this stuff out of the way. So we have to rub out Upchurch. Little tribute to Upchurch here. He flew 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 patrols. He had 9 bomber kills, on the verge of becoming a double ace, and killed in action on his what would have been the very last patrol of the campaign. Wow, that's sad. That's sad. I hate to rub all this out, but that's what we're doing. crossing off all of these. This is very sad. I guess the fatigue got to him. Yikes. All right. So on to our final results here. We had 8 Ketan isolated, none destroyed. We did get our 4th escort kill since the last time we scored. So that's going to be a total of 9 points. No one bailed out. We had 1 hospitalized and 1 killed in action. Poor Upchurch. All right, so that's going to give us, we were at what, 48, right? Because this was 41. 48 plus 9 is 57. So our chapter 4 total was 57, which was good enough for a success. So we finish up with 34 points from chapter 1, success. 32 points from chapter 2, success. That locked in our victory for the campaign as long as we avoided disaster results. Chapter 3, we only had 30 points, which was a failure. But then chapter 4, we came back with 57 points and another success. So 3 successes, 1 failure for the campaign. Just to cover some highlights, I guess, or yeah, let's just talk about some of our the pilots that we ended up with anyway. So we had Ald, Stu. He just made it back out of the hospital. 2 patrols under his belt, but no kills. But he came to us pretty late in the war. Ellsworth, with us from the beginning, flew 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 patrols, 3 escort kills, 2 bomber kills. Fitzroy flew 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 patrols, 1 escort kill for Fitzroy. Grant, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 patrols, 1 bomber kill. Irwin, another charter member, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 patrols, 5 bomber kills, 1 escort kill, ace. Kirkland, just got him right at the end of the war. He got 2 patrols in and managed 1 escort kill. Merrington, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 patrols, 1 escort kill, 1 bomber kill. Northcott, with us since the beginning. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 patrols flown, 3 escort kills, 2 bomber kills. Osgood, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 patrols, 5 bomber kills, ace. Pertwee, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 patrols, 1 escort kill, 3 bomber kills. Rathbone, with us from the start. I should have mentioned Ellsworth finished the war in the hospital, as did Pertwee. Rathbone, with us from the beginning. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 patrols for Rathbone. 4 escort kills, 4 bomber kills, ace. We need to give him an ace skill. We're going to give him because he had the most escort kills of anyone. He's the only one to have a confirmed escort kill, I believe, in the entire campaign. We're going to give him the vision skill. Let's see, where is, here we go. A little eyeball. All right, so vision skill for Rathbone. All right, Tremble. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 patrols, but no kills. Stick with Backrat there, Mr. Tremble. White, Mr. Jerry White, with us since the beginning of the campaign. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 patrols. Shot down 2 escorts, unconfirmed, of course, but yeah. And then he ended up finishing in the hospital as well. So that was our squadron at the end of the campaign and their accomplishments. So congratulations to all. Well done, sirs. All right, well, it's with a twinge of sadness that I say that this concludes this episode of Skies Above Britain, because it also concludes this playthrough of Skies Above Britain. I really appreciate everyone that followed along. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was helpful. Now I'm starting to tear up. I really had an awesome time playing it, and appreciate all of the guys watching and your comments. And yeah, just had a blast. So thank you very much. If you stuck through all, 48? Is that how many patrols we did? 8, 16, plus 12. No, 8, 16, 12. 28, 48. What am I talking about? 28. All 28 patrols. Those of you that stuck through the whole campaign, thank you very much. I appreciate you, and yeah, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. With the conclusion of this playthrough, I will be getting back to my Silent War playthrough, finishing up Campaign 3, Turning the Tide. I'd say we're probably about halfway through that. It's hard to believe I started that almost a year ago. It was last September, the end of last September, that I started my Silent War playthrough. We did take a pretty long break here to do some Skies Above Britain. I also took some breaks here and there to do some other content with Gloomhaven Buttons and Bugs. I do want to get back to that. I kind of put it on hold because I kind of got stuck on Scenario 6 and got a little bit discouraged with it. So, but I do want to get back to that. I have the promo scenario from Origins that I picked up while I was there. Scenario 5.5. So I do want to go back and play that one. It works out perfectly because I ended with Scenario 5. And so now I can just pick right back up with the new promo scenario. Yeah, and some other things. But yeah, it's been over 10 months since I started that Silent War playthrough, so it's definitely time to get back to that and finish it up. And then after that, who knows? I've got several other solo war games that I would like to do playthroughs of on the channel. Atlantic Chase. I'd love to do some 2-player Atlantic Chase. If anyone out there wants to do some Atlantic Chase on Vassal and I can live stream it, let me know. I'm definitely down for that. I do, like I said, well, maybe we could mix it in with the Silent War. But I'd really love to do that. What else? I've got the Doolittle Raid. I've played that once, but I'd like to do a playthrough on the channel of that. I've got Storm Above the Reich. I don't have Skies Above the Reich. I may try to pick that up in the GMT fall sale this year, because I'm pretty sure I think everybody qualifies for one game. And then I think I made at least 1 or 2 P500 purchases in the past year. So I should be able to get a couple of games from that. What else? Well, I can't think of it off the top of my head, but there are several other solo war games I'd like to play. Might even do some solo non-war games if time permits, as things go along. I got, what was it I got recently that has a solo mode? Ark Nova. I wouldn't mind doing a solo playthrough of that. And we have some other options. And of course, eventually, my daughter just finished her second to last semester of paramedic school. So hopefully she'll have some more free time. We can get back to playing some Lord of the Rings, the card game with the 2 girls. And yeah, I'm rambling again, so I think it's time to wrap this up. Once again, thank you all for watching, and we will see you in the next episode. Bye for now.